Hi guys, 27 June is MSME Day, that is micro, small and medium scale industries. To celebrate this day, we have 4 young entrepreneurs with us who are making a mark for themselves in Indian and global markets. That is Shalini Diwan from Attic, Tanya Mehra from Silver Lotus, Simran Chugh from Inside Stories, Abhijeet from Navroz. So guys, tune in tomorrow at 5:30 to hear their success stories. This session is powered by Global Fighters and Roots Skills.
Good evening, everyone. UN MSME Day is marked to recognize the contribution of these industries in the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. As many as 90% of the businesses are generated through the MSMEs. So I welcome you all esteemed speakers and entrepreneurs to this wonderful platform, Shashakt. I welcome, first of all, my friend, my co-founder, Shalini Diwan. And
Hi everyone.
yeah, hi. So I welcome. Yeah. Over to you, Shalini ji.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to our evening session on MSME Day. Micro, small, and medium industries help us fill the vacuum between consumers and big industries, creating opportunities and employment for all. So here we have 4 young, dynamic entrepreneurs who are go-getters, creative, and have created a niche for themselves in their own field. So let me welcome all of you to the show. So let's begin with Samkiti Jain from Attic. Hi Samkiti, welcome to the show.
So
Hi, thank you.
Start, yeah.
Then
So
I
before we
welcome
start,
Tanya Mehra from
regarding the organizers of this program, Shashakt is the platform and it is powered by Global Fighters and Root Skills. So before we start,
Tanya, we welcome you to the show. Tanya is from Silver Lotus Jewels. Welcome,
Hi.
Tanya.
Hi, thank you.
So
And
Tanya,
we have Abhijeet Chugh from Navroz. Welcome, Abhijeet.
Hello everyone.
And we have Simran Chugh from Inside Stories. Welcome, Simran.
welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
So here we will be listening to their struggles, success, achievements, and over to you guys. So let's begin with Samkiti. Samkiti, we would like to hear your story from your end.
So basically, I run a small thrift store on Instagram that's called The Attic. And so before I talk about my store, I think I'd like to talk about my experience with thrifting and thrifting in general, so that everyone gets an idea of where I'm coming from. And I just like to say that this is our storefront. So this is what our store looks like. And so we have different drops. I'll explain everything later, but you can just get a small glimpse of my store. So I think this is enough. I mean, everyone gets the idea of what the store looks like. So basically, thrifting refers to using secondhand stuff, or what we call pre-loved items. And we choose to call these items pre-loved because of the stigma and the taboo that's attached with thrifting. And that's something that, I keep referring to my store as us, or to myself as us, because I run it with my partner and friend. So basically what we aim to do with our store is to get rid of the stigma attached with thrifting. I personally started thrifting in somewhere in 2019. I don't remember exactly when. And so, in India, there's such a big taboo attached with thrifting. So, I mean, obviously, I was also a bit hesitant to just try it out. But my personal experience with thrifting has been great. And I used to study in England. And so there's a site in England. It's an app called Depop. So which is a thrift store, and people can sell their pre-loved items on Depop. So I've thrifted on Depop, and throughout my experience has been great. So because I personally am someone who really cares about sustainability, and with a simple click on Google, you can know how much resources are used to manufacture even a single t-shirt or a pair of shoes. And in this age of fast fashion, where every style is like a click away, you go on Myntra, there are thousands of styles available. And what happens is we keep clogging our closet with clothes, and we wear them once or twice, and then we just forget about them. They're lying at the back of our closets. what's the point of accumulating stuff like that when we can reuse it or others can use it at a discounted price? So why do we put ourselves into this cycle of consumption, of consuming new things that are taking up resources, when we can use one item of clothing or any one piece to its full life and then get a new item? And honestly, with the amount of stuff that exists in the world, we probably don't need to manufacture anything new for a very very long time. We can just keep exchanging, swapping, or buying. And so like, I'm a sustainable person. I like to live a sustainable lifestyle, and I also believe that, in today's age, people are only obsessed with like their rights or like what they can get from someone. But when it comes to your duty or something that you need to do on your own, no one's interested in doing that. Like, take a simple example of just throwing something in the trash can. I mean, that's your duty. You don't need to have an incentive to do that. But no one's willing to do it, to the extent that we need to have fines for people who litter when it's such a basic, sensitive thing. So that's when I got the idea in December 2020. Because of the pandemic, I was at home, not at university. I had a lot of time on my hands and a closet full of clothes. So I decided that why not try to sell my things online at a discounted price? Because personally, for me, of course, it's a business, it's a small business, but it's also a passion project. So it just started with, me trying to clean out my closet, or, just make space in it. And then my friend joined me in January, and since then we have been running this small thrift store on Instagram. And so we have drops. So one day we might have a footwear drop or a t-shirts drop. So then we put up like t-shirts on our page, and then people can just message us if they're interested in buying. And so my experience with personally thrifting and with the thrifting community on Instagram has been great, and I'm so glad that my generation is taking up thrifting. They are not going to shops to buy clothes, but they are coming to thrift shops to buy stuff, and that's personally very refreshing for me. And I'm glad to be a thrift store owner, and I'm glad to be a thrifter, and I'm glad that I'm doing something to change an Indian's perspective, an Indian who comes to visit our store. So that's about the idea.
That's really amazing, Samkiti, and it's given us such a new, refreshed idea about,
Yeah.
about things that we never think about. So many things, especially our generation was always accumulating, and we never even thought about thrifting. But yes, with your generation doing it, it's a very refreshing idea, and we definitely love it. And Samkiti, I'm sure you're going to take it forward on a very big scale, and you're going to make a difference, because when you impact somebody, that is where you are doing your job, and this is what you're doing. You're impacting to your small closet, small thrift store that you started, and trying
Yeah.
to make it, people aware of it, and making it as big as you can. And why not, because business and awareness is going side by side, and that's the best thing that you can create.
And also because now we're not like just sticking to our own closets, because we are still running at a very small scale. So we are like, we helped one of our friends. She wanted to sell some stuff, so we sold her stuff. Our family friends, we help them, like if they want to sell something, we help them. And it's such a transparent process, because we post pictures, we list if there are any defects or anything, so the person knows what they are getting. And since it's like, when you go to a website, and when I say all this, by no way do I mean to demean any big corporate like Zara, H&M. I'm not against them at all, but I am against the mindset that we have developed about, constantly ki, oh ye kya naya hai, this new style, this ye chahiye wo chahiye. And because prices have come down so much, they are also very accessible. But this control, this restraint needs to come from within us. We can't blame Zara कि यार Zara क्यों इतने तरह के items दिखा रहा है. It उसका तो business है, it's going to come up with new styles, but it's you who has to change, who has to stop drooling on every new pair of shoes that Zara gets out, and try to
But
be.
Samkiti, I feel this way, you can also mix and match, because again, if you're buying something from a thrift store at a discounted price, you still
Yeah.
have a new item, and you can mix and match with your own existing closet and
Exactly.
create a new fashion for yourself. So this is again, one creative idea which everybody can do by themselves, and yet you are not repeating your clothes and your clothes, goes
Yeah.
to somebody else. So this way, a whole community, as you
Exactly.
say, develops up, and you are having a new clothes every time that you're wearing.
Exactly.
We are going to
It's
send
just
it
that
to
it's not a.
somebody.
Yeah.
We are going to
I
send
let
it to
others
you.
speak, and then we can,
Yes.
always I can come back in the discussion.
It's like how we used to share books, and now we can also share clothes in between a community. So
Yeah.
it's like that. That is the culture
And
that I
the
think thrifting is all
community
about.
is expanding at such a big rate that we've personally sold home decor stuff, we've sold books, and we are, we keep thinking that, what else can be reused, what else can be given a new home. So instead of just sticking to clothes or this or that, there's like a plethora of things that can just be reused.
Just an idea off the top of my head, my mother has such beautiful garments with her that she has, had from the time when she got married and, was passed on. But sometimes
Yeah.
I have a different choice. So I don't want to use it, but she can probably put it on a thrift store, and, somebody else who will find that exciting could,
Exactly.
make good use of it.
Yeah.
And plus,
It's what I
Tanya, if
think.
you remember, when we were
Yeah.
kids, we used to always swap clothes within cousins and stuff.
Absolutely,
It was always
absolutely.
fun,
And we
Yeah,
used
and
to
were
do
quite
it with such
excited about
panache,
it.
like, yeah. It wasn't stigmatized then.
No,
Like,
exactly.
if I
Because when it is
yeah,
not within the family, why is it
yeah,
now? So we can just give a broader
exactly.
perspective to it, and it always goes in a big way.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
true. That's true. And also, if if people actually spend time in getting to know about how these, the corporates, how they make people work under conditions just to keep funding this fast fashion,
Yeah.
this rat race that we are in. It's actually it's very unhuman, if you think about it. So it's a very personally, like it's like a contribution to that also. You're in a way
Yeah.
helping
Absolutely.
reduce the burden on those people also, in a way, because there's lesser demand now if
Yes.
you
And
adapt
when
to
you
this culture.
shift to something different in a way, because we as one person, like, how does it matter? I stop buying from Zara today, it doesn't mean like anything. Zara
Yeah,
ko kuch chuna
yeah.
ho raha hai. But when a group of people, they shift to something different, it's an indirect or even a direct blow to the company, that
Yeah.
you improve your ways, otherwise we are not going to support you.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. In
Or
a way,
it's
it's
a
like making a
revolution, this is
generational
how.
curse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evolution happens gradually when a group of people
Exactly.
come upon a cause.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
mean,
really great. So Tanya, now we would like to hear from you. I mean, you
yes,
went into
absolutely.
fashion, designing jewelry. So what made you, get into jewelry business?
Actually, this is something that I have always been around jewelry in the house. I mean, I think it's like goes for all us girls, but for me it was kind of different because my mother is a hobbyist, and she likes to detail jewelry and design jewelry, and she does fine jewelry. So she has a lot of diamonds and colored gemstones, your rubies, your sapphires, and emeralds, always lying around in the house. So we were always kind of playing it. So those were my toys when I was growing up, and she's a very social person. So there used to be so many people, and I used to really like that thing, that where we would interact, and we had like a common interest, that people used to like those pieces of jewelry that we had created, or something that we also liked. So it was kind of like bonding happening over that. So I was very young. I was in my 8th grade when my mother started going up in those events where we would just put up pop-up shows, and we would meet with new people, show our jewelry, showcase the collections that we had. And also my dad has a lot of friends abroad, so whenever they would come to India, they were very fond of buying jewelry pieces. So we would buy pearls for them, and silver jewelry pieces. So we were kind of like curating a collection for them, and it worked out so well that I sometime there was this time when I just thought, let's just try it in, with fine jewelry. We can keep silver jewelry and see how people react to it when we go out for the pop-up concept. And it worked out so well because it is something that is so accessible, and it's something that goes for every age group. I've never had a problem where I had to identify my target age group to whom to sell it to, because there is a plethora of products, and there's a plethora of things that you can do with your silver. It can be crafted, it can be melted. Same goes for your gold and diamond jewelry. So you can get a maximum usage out of one jewelry piece, and you can keep changing it and upgrading it to the latest trends. So that happened, and I've finished my graduation as a fashion designer from Pearl, and I thought probably I'll just shake things up and try something. But then my love for jewelry kept pulling me back. So I was just planning my masters, and this opportunity, Silver Lotus Jewels, kind of presented. My dad, it's actually my dad's brainchild. So he's like, I want to do something like an online retail. Are you interested? I would be like, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, it's silver jewelry. Yes, let's do it. And I think it's been 3 years now. I've had good ups and downs, figuring it out how to, because the idea was to have no physical store. And fortunately, we have a room in the house which can work as like a makeshift, like a store. So you can just walk in and, you can see all the stuff that's there, and you can physically experience and have a tactile experience with the products that we have. So that worked out well, because I also kind of have to give a lot of credit to my mother's. So this is like a snippet of my Instagram presence. So as you can see, we've kept the styles very usable, nothing hoopla, but I also have a lot of jewelry pieces which are designed keeping in mind occasions like, wedding jewelry and, something where, as Indians, our love for jhumkas would never go out of style. So I have a lot of jhumkas and, flamboyant jhumkas, this, that. So. And also, this is something that I got from my mother. For her, it's always been about quality over quantity. So we tried to use always semi-precious gemstones, even if it was costing us much when it came to silver jewelry, because silver jewelry, some people get price conscious. Yes. So yeah, but then we started to, mix strands and tried to put our silver products into semi-precious gemstone jewelry like this. So that worked really well for us. So I said, and this is one thing that I learned was, if you create a product, the market for it will generate automatically, so if you really, and if you really believe in your product, only then you'll be able to push it. So I wear my own jewelry.
And Tanya, when you mix and match, like you put in silver with gemstones, it creates a new style. And as you said, when you create something, a market gets created.
Absolutely.
And I have been to your jewelry.
Set up and she's keeping it all.
And it's beautiful. I really get mesmerized with so much of jewelry around,
and so much vibrance with the gemstones. Yeah. So all of this kind of, so while I was doing this, I also knew that, if to sell my product, I have to know my product bit by bit, especially when you're going in the luxury industry. So I did my graduation. I got my diploma from International Gemological Institute about diamonds, about colored gemstones and the jewelry business. And also to kind of gain an understanding of how the jewelry industry works in the Indian premise. So yeah, that's been my story. And I have a website. I can just share the I'll just show the website with you. Just a minute.
Excellent.
No, and it's so interesting, Bhavisha, to see these young people, they're so excited about doing something new, and they're not scared.
Beautiful ideas. And excellent.
We used to always say, "Pata nahi yaar, log kya kahenge?" But they're not scared. They believe in those lines.
They are doing excellent.
Because people will always point finger. But you should have the courage within yourself to actually implement your idea and take it forward and say, okay, I believe in this and I'm going to take it forward, and I'm not scared of what the world is going to talk about it, because
absolutely.
That's the best part about your generation.
So that's
and if one idea fails, there's always another idea that comes your way,
Shashak also stands for the Shashakt. We empower youth and women and all, because काफी women जो है वो hesitate करते हैं, but we started our journey that way only. So you are here to inspire other entrepreneurs as well, and root skills and global fighters. जो काम कर रहे हैं अभी sustainability की जब बात करें हम, so total focus is on SDGs, and here is my short small video.
Okay. So I'll just stop the share. I mean, this is the website that is created for Silver Lotus, As you can see, we have all our products,
So
different
this
kind
is
of
the
jewelry
simple.
pieces.
So yeah, we started with this seeds and all simple eco-friendly Rakhi, eco-friendly Ganpati. Then we go to the potter's home and we fetch the soil and we do a lot of experiment, wedding products. And Shalini ji also joined here. So Root Skills work for the promotion of the eco-friendly products. We are into making of the eco-friendly products. And so far we reached to the more than 500 schools and colleges. And this is the short journey of the Root Skills as an MSME. So, Root Skills is an associate partner for the Environment Expo and e-mobility. So we welcome you all for, next year, here in 2022, most probably, because this year we couldn't.
Won an award as well for the best producer device of the year from this exhibition. This exhibition has been great for us. We have generated quite a good leads and we have been appreciated by many of the people as well.
The exhibition has been really good. We met a lot of interesting people, a lot of people who really care about air pollution as much as we do.
To basically come out with solution to this global problem that we are facing.
A quarter of the globe's new energy generation.
So here we promote air purifier plants, and with us so many women entrepreneurs are associated. We promote khadi, we promote handloom products and handcrafted. So many small entrepreneurs are associated with us. They're very simple. Even home chefs and small SMEs are connected to us.
तो कहीं ना कहीं आपने सोचा है कि दीपावली को बुलाते हैं, वो फिटनेस की आइकॉन है, तो ये अपने आप में एक ह्यूज कॉम्प्लीमेंट है मेरे लिए और थैंक यू इस ऑनर के लिए, क्योंकि जिस एबिलिटी बियॉन्ड डिसेबिलिटी के साथ
We promote jute bags, paper bags, and we keep on organizing sessions and all these activities for the. We are working for the farmers' welfare. We connect the farmers to the Kisan Ki Baat on India Radio. We keep on distributing saplings and seeds, whatever is required by them. So this is what Root Skills is doing.
Amazing. That's really nice.
And it's absolutely inspiring. Really.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like
So
a
now,
podium
Tanya,
for so many people. Yeah.
absolutely. So Tanya, now that we have heard about you, we would like Simran to talk about Inside Stories. What exactly is Inside Stories? Because that's very interesting as a name and as a title. But what do you actually talk about Inside Stories?
So hi everyone, I'm Simran this side. I am a founder of Inside Stories. So Inside Stories is basically an interior firm and a furniture designing firm. So first of all, I want to thank Miss Shalini Aunty that she has given me this platform to speak about your entrepreneurship skills, that what you do and what are your struggles, so that I can share it with everyone. So, first of all, I want to say that interior designing is such a creative field for the people who love designing spaces. Like, I generated that interest after my undergraduation. I did luxury brand management from Pearl Academy, and from over there, I decided to to continue with the luxury industry itself, but somehow I felt that interior designing is my line. So that because I really like designing houses for people, because I feel that it's that one space where people spend their most of the time uh, like if we are into office going atmosphere, so people come home and they want to feel relaxed and everything about that. So for that, I was really inclined towards, to come into this field and to actually make people happy about their space. So this was my small thing that how I generated my interest in interior designing field. So the struggles I want to talk about is as it was a very unfortunate that the COVID pandemic has you know taken the huge impact. So I believe that hospitality sector and the creative field industry sector has been affected a lot. So for me, the major struggle I felt that people are really into the saving the cost. If I say if that is the right statement to put. So many of my projects went through just like that because I was charging much higher rate than the other designers, and honestly I wasn't charging anything. I see very much experienced designers who charge like 4 to 5 lakhs. I charge people around from 50,000, so it was a lot for them. So that this is something that actually is a very big drawback. So entrepreneurs like me who are willing to start this as a career, so this point leads to a lot of demotivation for people. Even it felt for me. So that is the major struggle which I am also facing. So I guess that is it about my journey. That the main agenda was only to not to demotivate everyone who are looking forward into this field, but something it is a reality that everything it seems easy from like far, but it is not. You have to struggle like anything.
No, absolutely, Simran, because without struggle, nobody reaches to the pinnacle, and that's not possible. So, and those struggles, why they are important in your early stage of your career is because you learn a lot from your struggles, and you know what you should not be doing and what you should be doing. So, it gives you a very clear-cut idea of what wrongs you were doing and what you should take up. So, these struggles, because everything that comes on a silver platter is not always good because you don't learn too much out of it because everything is given to you on a spread. So it's always nice to have little struggles, but then learn from
Yeah,
our struggles.
struggles, and we all need to take a risk.
Yeah, and learning from our struggles, and then finding that niche. Okay, I have a price range which is very less, yet I want to make a mark of myself in the designer world which is already existing. So how can I make that difference? So that is where the challenge comes, is that you have to create something which is maybe something which is totally different from which is not existing. Maybe something which is very colorful, or maybe which is something very abstract, or maybe the design is absolutely which people normally are not thinking about, but yes, you can think about because you're young and you're starting, so you have a more creative mind, so you can always create something which is not existing in the market, and then make a mark of yourself on your Instagram page and Facebook and your websites, and people will notice because if something which is really good gets noticed. So I mean, demotivation and struggles are there with all of us faced. When we started Global Fighters, I mean, a lot of people told me, why are you doing it? Why do you go to the village? पढ़ाने जाते हो, you don't need to do it. But again, it's the passion which takes you on, and you say, okay, it's my passion, and I will make sure that I make a mark. And once people see you, that you are consistent with your work, they start believing in you. And once you create that trust and loyalty with the people, then there's no looking back. So those initial struggles are always good. Take them in a very positive note, and you will be one of the really ones at the top, maybe next 2 years. So you never know what's there in hold for you. So that's really amazing. And Simran, you'll really do good with your furniture line. So we have Abhijeet with us now. Abhijeet seems to be very busy. So guys, till Abhijeet joins us. Abhijeet, yes, there he is. Yeah. So Abhijeet, we would like you here because Navroz is what I have not been yet. I really want to visit your store, but I've heard so much about it. So let's hear from you.
Shalini ji, if you want to visit right now, we can.
Yeah, we can have a virtual tour.
Royalty.
Yes.
Virtual tour.
Perfect. Looks beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Abhijeet, what made you start the store?
Yeah, that was our store, Navroz in Phase 2. We'll request everyone to please visit us and grace this small store here. It's an MSME day, and we are all like kind of doing very well. We are all fighting battles each day, and whether the battles are small or big, whether we win or we lose, but we should pat our backs because we fight a battle each and every day. There are like nothing is easy. Like I probably think it's everything is difficult and everything is also not that difficult. So it's a paradox. What I can say. It's almost been a year we are into fashion line and I'm still trying to figure it out things. One thing I think I would like really this matlab, it's not like I would like to tell that we all have to be learners. We can't stop learning. The day we stop learning, I think we'll not be able to grow.
Absolutely.
We are into Western wear we have a Pret and a couture house. These are some fancy French words, but it literally means a lot of things. So a couture house means like what we can do is like customizable Indian or Western perhaps. And Pret means it's ready-made garment. You can come shop and just leave with your garment. And couture means that you have to wait for 10 days. It will be done according to your specifications, your taste, your preferences. So we are here, a nice, cozy, warm couture house and a Pret house. And we are into women Western wear and Indian garments. What I am trying to figure it out is that the journey, you have to enjoy the journey. You can't just wait for the end result. All the small steps has to be taken. You have to enjoy. You will be frustrated at times at what is happening. The things will never go according to your plan. You will wish it to go into some particular order, but it will never ever. Probably 1% out of 100 will be your, like you will get it. But
Journey is the
99% of the
destination. Like, journey is the destination. There's nothing more to it.
And only if it was so planned and if it could be just going the way we wanted, I think everybody would be sitting back and just planning out and you know what it is going. But
Yeah.
these challenges is what hits you back and you say, okay, I need to bounce back again.
and
Yeah.
plan each and everything, and it really, my heart hurts when my plan falters. But that's the thing. I think we should all, in our minds, steer our plan pages because it's never gonna work end of the day. But it doesn't mean that you stop planning because planning will give you a roadmap. That's what I was going to in my second. You have to plan. It will not work. Think in your back mind, but you have to plan because if you will not plan, then what will you do? There's no plan of action in ahead of you. So that's one of the very important things. And MSMEs are very supportive in India. I think as people grow, MSMEs do support the MSME ministry and all. Fashion industry is very like changing every day. The fashion changes every day. It's hard. Nothing is easy, but you have to enjoy. You really have to be passionate. You have to enjoy the journey itself. I think
again, Abhijeet, what comes across is like, you started a store, somebody started a thrift store, and Tanya is having jewelry. But again, you guys are actually experimenting, and all about experimenting is very important because the day you stop experimenting and dreaming, I think you stop living. So this is very important that you need to dream. They might be good, they might, fall back, but then that's perfectly all right. Because if you don't take in challenges, how do you know that you're going to be reaching where you actually dream to reach? And plan B, I always feel, with plan A, one should always have a plan B also ready. Because कई बार क्या होता है कि जब आपका plan A होता है तो at least some solace is there that you have plan B. But because someday you can work on that plan B and then again revert back to your plan A. So these things with this we all learn when we start walking. Because जब तक हम बैठ के on a chair सोचते रहेंगे, okay, this is going to fall this way, it's not going to happen. But yes, when we start walking, we'll be falling, we will be tripping. But yes, we will learn because this is how we are going to be learning. And this is very important. And MSME, about small scale industries, micro industries, they come up because there is a gap between consumers and big industries. There's a huge vacuum. And that is a vacuum which we all need to fill in, like Bhavisha is doing with root skills. ऐसा नहीं है कि वहां पे पेड़ लगते नहीं थे पहले, but yes, she's doing her part of it. ऐसा नहीं था कि I am doing global fighters rural education. ये नहीं था कि rural education was never there. It was there, but I am trying to again, make that more awareness and work on the areas where people actually need to be aware about and they need to understand a few things. Now, Sankiti is doing thrift store. It was always there, as we talked about कि बचपन में हम करते थे.
For desired result.
That's given a new meaning to the whole idea of what we were already doing.
Research matters.
Always, in India. Tanya is again creating a very good fashion jewelry, mix and match, with gemstones and antique jewelry and stuff. So and Simran is doing another job of hers, creating a new line of furniture. So this is what actually is important, is that all of us need to be dreaming, and we have our parents, we have our families to fall back to, and so it's always good that we have a support wall at the back. But yes, we need to go ahead. So you guys are doing a great job. So what do you think? Okay, now let me ask you one question. How do you see yourself, say, 2 years down the line? Let's take it as a 2 years benchmark.
What is the limit?
2 सालों में आपने क्या vision? Because whenever you start,
wonderful answer, Shalini ji. He answered only. He answered it himself. What is the limit?
But I think dream small. I think dream.
देखो limit तो कोई भी नहीं है अभिजीत. Limit, it's limited.
वही वो बता रहा है ना कि 2 साल के बाद there is no limit.
There's no limit. Okay.
Because we risk. We all must. Because entrepreneurs जो भी है, जितने भी enterprises है, they need to do a lot of research work. Like especially if we want to अपना जो goal है, जो भी है desired result है, if we want to achieve our goals, we need to work on that, and we also need to set it in advance, and we need to implement our thoughts. At the speed of the thought, if we do our business, then only we will survive into this current situation, because pandemic has taught us all this thing. So,
exactly. It's taught us how to prepare for the worst also.
Works, right, in this situation. And for process industries or for this thrift store and even fashions and all, we need to do a lot of research. और जो भी पहले लीड करता है वो सक्सेस हो जाता है. जैसे मास्क की भी बात करें.
People saying कि I can do it, which I, as some people were saying we can do it. I always also believe in the concept of we and us, because together, अकेले तो you can walk a few steps and maybe but together we and us can walk miles across. So this
we can make this journey more beautiful, more supportive. Yes.
Because कई बारी क्या होता है, आप जरूर you get disheartened at times, but yes, there are people to tell you no, it's perfectly all right, we are there with you. So that gives you extra energy to say, okay, I can do it. And that concept of I can do it is very important, especially in entrepreneurs, because I can do it. I think it should be, put on our walls and look at it and say, I can do it every day that we get up in the morning.
It's the first thing we need to look at when we get up.
Yes, I can do it.
But mostly it's also, as entrepreneurs, I think, especially to get, there are like so many fields to be taken care of. Like, for example, now we have digital marketing, booming, and some of us don't even know what kind of content works for what kind of social platform. So for that, we have to reach out to people so as to help us. So, as becoming entrepreneurs, you also have to understand how to manage and delegate your work at the same time, because if I were to be at 10 places at the same time,
Like
it won't
marketing
work.
part, you can delegate always.
Absolutely.
Marketing part,
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think
decision making we can keep with us, but other we can get the work done through other.
I mean, our product, since we know the product, we can keep working on the product.
Conclusion is when one organization emerges, then so many other organization automatically emerges. Like one successful organization can make many organizations successful.
Exactly. The more it's like the Midas touch. So the more people you touch, it's like you influence them, and that's how it all turns to gold. So yeah,
I would
that is how the concept of thrift store. Again, a new Abhijeet bolo. Yes, we want to hear it from you.
Like to add one thing. We were saying about the plant wall. The thing is, we take things for granted. In my small journey, this was not my plan A. It was my second interest. When I meet people, my college juniors, and I think people only want one thing. I wanted to be a film writer. I still want to be. I'm still doing it from Delhi. Whatever I can do, I want to be a screenwriter. Now the problem is that people think that they want to do only one thing and that they term success of career. But are they only interested in one thing in life? Do you think only one dream? Do you see only one dream in your life? No. There may be a plan B. There may be something you would be like to doing. I think as entrepreneurs, you need to have an open mind, and we should take advantage of timing. Timing is really, really crucial. The Midas touch will all work out. You have to be smart enough to judge the time. What you are doing. The Midas touch will
almost 8 to 5 p.m. wala time for entrepreneurs. They can think 24/7. They can implement their thoughts anytime.
Yeah, we are working 24/7, even in our dreams.
And multitasking and multi-talented. And if you are blessed with the skill
to sanitizers, and I want to.
Then it is amazing.
I started my dream with Global Fighters as an education, but eventually I developed into a motivational speaker. Then I started doing my wellness, so I started making hair oils and skincare products which are totally organic. Then I started writing a book. I became a writer, writing a travel log. Then I started doing fashion inspiration, so I started mixing and matching. And then I mean these are the few things that you keep doing. So the day I feel okay, education, I'm okay. The schools are not working, at the moment because they're closed at the moment. Let me do my videos. So I started my YouTube channel. So so this is where you actually diversify yourself, and then you understand what your strengths are, and then you actually when you start blooming in all this, you yourself can surprise at times. There are so many things that you could do which you never knew of. Only is that when it hits you, and then when it was there, okay, what do I do next? And you rack your brains, you do come up with 100 things. So this is where everything is inside us. It's just that we need to understand where all are. We can spread our wings, where we can do 100 things. So it's always nice, when I get up at 7 in the morning, if I see something interesting, and my 1-minute video comes on Facebook immediately. So, I started doing my 1-minute videos. So, there I learned that, doing a 1-minute video needs to be very short because it's just 1 minute. It needs to be crisp. It should have the right words, and there should be no repetition. And yet I should be able to cover my story. So this is, I started doing it, and then I'm getting better and better with it every day. So this is how, once you start working, once you start doing, you start actually, exploring yourself, and you never know. And then you wonder at times, oh, wow, I could do this, which I never knew I could do it.
Yeah.
So these are the few things, which are very
and
important.
I think there's one thing that we all need to overcome, and that's perfectionism. Like I've always been a perfectionist, and that's even held, like it's a good thing to be, but it can also hold you back because first drop, all pictures have to be perfect. Like they can't be perfect. I've never done this before, so I can't expect myself to be perfect all the time. But as long as you give your best and you keep learning and you keep adapting to the situation, then I think things do work out for you. And also I'd like to say that as she said, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, I can't see it on the screen, as Tanya said about the Midas touch. I think that's completely true, but also like the opportunity is there, but you should know how to grasp it, and then you should know how to add your own spin to it, how to add your own touch to it, because fine, you can take inspiration from what already exists, but then unless and until you add your own sweat and blood to it, it won't be your thing, and then then it won't feel genuine to the buyer. When you put your own spin into it, the other person, the buyer, knows that this is something that's coming from the person's heart. So it does have a big impact. Like if I shop from someone from a small business, you can know how genuine this person is, if this person actually feels for their business, or if they're just doing it as chalo theek hai, kar lete hain, time hai. So you get to know. So it's very important that, yeah, fine, I mean, we want to earn from our businesses, we want them to grow, but I think we should never lose our own self when it comes to our business. We should be at the crux of our business, and our heart should be at the crux of our business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as you were saying about perfection, perfection at times is not very good also, which even I have learned over the time. And one thing, but I feel which works in any business or any part of life is discipline. If you're disciplined enough, you can do actually a lot of things, because in your mind you're all sorted out. So there are 100 things, if your priorities are right, if you're disciplined inside, then there are a lot of things that you can do. At times, discipline, I always say, can be a little boring. But if you start following your discipline and you start loving your discipline, you will be amazed that I can cover up so many things, and which I never thought I would be able to do it. So these are a few things, so this is when we start doing our businesses. We at times started this with a passion, then we develop it into a really business. So that is how we do it, is when we start adapting ourselves to certain situations and make sure that I want to do it, because that challenge is there, that enthusiasm is there, because when you see that your business is a little growing. And one thing I always say to people is, whenever you go to any new place or something, always shop from a local market, because there you are actually empowering the local artisans. Dekho, Zara and malls to har jagah hai, and they are big people, they have money, but the small artisans hai and the local market, that is where you will be creating a whole new income for them and a whole new dreams for them. So I always say, shop from a local market, not from the malls, from any new country that you go to, because that is something that even we want in our country to happen. And that is what we want our artisans to come up. So it goes everywhere across the world. So, these are again, small, micro, medium industries, which are again, so that is why I say they fill the gap between your consumers and your big industries. So there's a huge gap, and we all can, together fill it up. And that is what we all are doing. So this is, I think this is a topic which is very vast, and it is very interesting to see that ideas come out so well. And you guys are doing a great job. We are missing out Simran somewhere. I think she has lost touch.
I think she has left.
She's lost touch with us. But yes, So what do you guys feel that
she was in car, I think, right? So network.
She was in the car. Yeah, I think she was traveling or something. Yes. So what do you think now with your clothes and your jewelries and stuff? How do you think you are impacting the new generation with your ideas? Oh, there she comes. There she is. Great to have both of you together in one screen.
So that's best.
Yeah, wonderful.
That is a brother-sister team working together.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So guys, tell me one thing. How are you impacting your own generation with the work that you're doing? How many people actually are relating to you from your own generation? How do they see you?
The thing is that, when I started going out and buying jewelry for myself, when I didn't have this with me, I also always used to look out for pieces that were, more relatable, were something that could be used every day, and not something that I would ask my mother to store in the, the locker, or put it in locks and just keep it away. It was something that I wanted to use. But now that I'm getting into, this business, and I feel there are so many people who want the same result
Tanya,
out of it.
In your business, I think stories works a lot. Right?
Yeah. And
many memories, stories, and all these interesting
beautiful thing about the silver metal I really want to share is that the more you wear it, the more it stays white, it doesn't tarnish because the skin oil keeps it fresh and, nice. So I think that's such a beautiful thing. I mean, it's like the metal telling you, please wear me every time. And that's like, keep experimenting with me. And I think that is what is amazing about this. And also touching up on the need of the hour, as Samkiti has said and as Shalini ma'am has said, it is so important that we understand the impact that our consumption of products has on the environment. So with something, now jewelry is something, this will come as a surprise to you all, that jewelry was something that we started to wear as humans even before we started wearing clothes. So, it's something that's going to always stay with us, no matter what. It's going to get inspired by the latest technologies. It's going to get lighter. It's going to get minimal. Like
the best example of sustainability.
Yes,
sustainability का example है. It passes generations.
Generations, yes. It's going to stay the same.
The jewelry has gone so different now. I mean, we never thought of the amount of jewelry range we see now. We never thought that. They're mixing so many metals and so many materials together, metal and materials coming together. I saw beautiful straw jewelry. I mean, they were made by straw with beautiful gemstones on it.
Gemstones, even ceramic jewelry, you have gemstones. And it's just gorgeous to look at, it's like creating art with your hand. It's like that, and we are such blessed community as Indians, because we have such beautiful karigars with us here, who are unfortunately not able to continue their work because, nobody pays them. But if, that is what we had in mind, me and my dad, we saw that we are selling jewelry and people are selling it abroad to their friends at such good prices. Why don't we do that here? People will be willing to buy it if you justify the cost to them. If Tanish can do it, so can I. Maybe it'll take me some years, but I can do it. I think,
traditional skills and non-traditional skills को blend करके technology support के साथ this is possible with the technology. So,
exactly.
We can show our support.
I can keep inspiring the generations of those karigars to come and keep telling them, there's going to be always work for you. So stay there.
I love Rajasthani bangles with wax wala.
Actually,
this
is something very sad. This is something very sad about our country, that the people who work behind the scenes or who are helping us in our business, we tend not to support them or encourage them. And like some people won't pay them.
Many organizations are there. Even government is promoting and supporting all this beautiful. No, this is the day today. Even we have a separate ministry for this.
No, but I think they, when it comes to fair pricing and ethical trade and ethically buying from them, there are so many tangents.
Again, it depends upon the demand, because it is not an essential product. It is luxury lifestyle. You said, na?
No, so again,
but still
depend upon the choice.
And I will say, when we go to small vendors, we are always haggling with them. And I say, okay, haggle only to a point, because आप बड़े store पे जाके तो you want to
you won't haggle, you won't even ask for the price,
because you want to look very brave, perfect, and very I mean, you want to show your status around,
because you have an image to maintain there,
exactly. So you don't haggle. But why are we haggling for those 20 rupees or 100 rupees with those small vendors?
Exactly.
That actually is very sad. So I feel, they should be given their price, because they are actually the people who are working. It's, it's the big branch from them, showcasing out.
Shalini ji,
200%.
अगर हम बात करें सारे ये MSMEs की और हमारे मतलब बिजनेस पॉलिसीज या बिजनेस की या जो भी, तो कितना भी टाइम बात करेंगे कम रहेगा, बिकॉज इसमें बहुत रिसर्च हुआ है. सो मेनी MSCs आर देयर एंड बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है. सो अब क्लोजिंग थॉट्स, कुछ मैसेज सबके पास लेके हम क्लोज करेंगे सेशन.
So let's begin, Okay, Tanya, what would be your closing message to all of us?
My closing message would be that, failures are going to happen. I am, if I start something new, I don't know how it's going to be perceived. So failures are going to happen, but if it's already been discussed, if I persevere and I stay on top of it, I'll eventually emerge on top of my game. So that's, I think, what my concluding thought is going to be like.
Great. Samkiti, what will you say, your closing message?
Mine would be that don't stop believing and don't stop trying and stop being a perfectionist all the time. And it would also be that, start consciously making changes. It doesn't take time. It takes 2 minutes on the internet. We are always on our phones. That's the least we can do. Like spend maybe half an hour, even in like half an hour a week, to just educate ourselves about the positive changes that we can bring about. And one more thing would be that, the government and everyone can do a lot for MSMEs, but you also need to do your share. Like, I'm so glad that Tanya shared that, she treats her karigars so well, because if it's like jewelry ki karigari or someone who's a sari weaver, anything, these are art. These things are art. Like, it's a skill to do all this. But people don't appreciate, when people don't appreciate these things or they don't treat them as skills, then sari weavers also like, ठीक है मुझे करना है तो करना, because I have to earn my daily wage, because I need to earn my bread, but not because he or she is having a passion for its skill. Like, that passion, it dies. Like, they have that skill, ठीक है मुझे अपनी रोजी रोटी कमानी है, so I'm weaving that sari, I'm making this piece of jewelry, पर वो एक प्यार भी तो होता है आपको अपने काम के लिए, and we kill that passion for them when we unnecessarily haggle with them, or we don't respect their craft. Like, aap ja rahe ho, don't buy it, just appreciate their work. That, I mean, one compliment goes a long way. So, like, the government, and you can have all the support in the world from like monetary support, this, that, but जो एक human support होता है, एक emotional support, give that to small businesses. Give constructive criticism, but be sweet, be polite, and just wish the best for everyone, and it would come back to you in the end.
Absolutely, I totally believe in you, because I always say, it's your heart. If you are being good to people, it comes back to you magically. And because life, again, I always tell people, life is a big circle. You start with something good, it definitely will come back. But yes, if you start with something bad, you cannot expect anything good coming to you. वो कहते हैं ना, एक बड़ा अच्छा मुहावरा था, आप वो बबूल के सीड,
हाँ बोया पेड़ बबूल का आम कहाँ से होगा?
आम कहाँ से होगा? So it is what you are sowing is what you are getting. So if you're good with your heart, pure with your dealings, transparent with your work and loyal, and I think everything, and you attract the same people towards you. So definitely. Okay. So that is, and Abhisha, thank you so much. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Samkiti. It was really nice.
A pleasure.
It was really nice listening to such refreshing thoughts. So have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. And
okay, bye bye. Good evening.
Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.
Always be honest to your work. Bye.
Okay.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye.